up? Title tells them, what's up, Sussex squad? Listen, sit down. We got a lot to talk about. What is going on today? Well, listen, if your guess is Charles finally humbled himself and he was nice to his second-born son, no. William finally discovered hair transplant. No, that didn't happen either. You guys, stop it. Let's stay focused. If your third thing is Camilla making a fool of herself, no. A little bit to the left, Kate. What am I talking about? Waiting for personality. Katie is, she stepped into it. And who would have thought she would step into it by doing the least? That is God's curse. You do the least and it still blows up in your face. Y'all, what am I talking about? If you don't know, Kate has been working on for a better part of a century, the early years, basically teaching everybody that how we treat little children is very important. Now, here's the thing, right? She's been doing these promotional videos, a claymation, like Gumby-like, and I'm not gonna drag her. I actually found the video was cute. I mean, if you're into Gumby, animatronics, I am, right? But also even more than that, she sat down and she talked with little kids and she was very sweet and she was very engaging. I was actually surprised saying you need to surround Kate with a bunch of little kids at all times because in a weird way, almost like a subjugace, like when you suck all the personality and stuff. I think the kids were so full of love and personality that she felt free. And she actually looked like a very sweet, charming, likable person. But as with everything Kate does, it's no fluff or substance, right? It's all talk. And normally, like I said, times are changing. Normally, even 3 years ago, that wouldn't have been so much an issue. But now, when the pound is in the toilet, when the UK is facing food shortage, energy shortage, heat shortage, wage shortage, there's a 25% employment gap. There is a 6-hour wait in the emergency room, 3-hour wait for the ambulance. That country is going up in flames because of the Tory leadership, which is an interesting mixture between, in my opinion, racism, xenophobia, classism, elitism, and they're trying to rob the country blind and break the NHS so they can make more money selling it off privately, okay? All that's going on. So back then when things were really good and the UK thought they were enough that they could actually kick out every immigrant or any person that had color in their skin and still thrive, maybe all that talky might have gotten it. But now everybody's saying enough with the talk, you need action. And if there's one thing we know that Kate's not good at, it's action. You guys, it's actually comical in a tragic sort of way what happened. Kate, they were looking for something for Kate. They were like, listen, what's her thing? Meghan's thing is she's confident, she's capable, right? Harry's thing is he's warm, he's charismatic, everybody likes him. William's thing is he's going to be king, right? So we can hide all the people. He's like going around and like acting like just hissing at people, right? Kate's thing was, you know what? She's good with kids. She loves having babies. Put her with kids. William keep making jokes about like, oh, my wife wants another baby. Question is with you. Anyway, right? That can all be excused, so to speak. But you actually got to look at this, right? Because how do I say this? She, by being mediocre and thinking she could find something safe that she could just talk, and nobody would say anything, she didn't realize that now when the nation is in crisis and most parents in the UK are struggling to make ends meet, now that you're talking about the way we need to treat children, a lot of people are saying the time for talking is over and we need action. We need action. So Kate, again, in the last 3 months, they have shown up at food banks, refugee camps, you name it. They show up empty-handed. And they think it's enough to come from their palaces, sit with the commoners, so the other commoners can see, oh wait, these people need help. And then the other commoners will give their money, time, resources to help the worst among them, to help the most downtrodden among them. And they can go back to the lily palaces and like continue to ignore your husband planting rose bushes, if you know what I mean, right? To think they think that this is still the same economic stage, this is still the same. It is incredibly tone deaf, it's incredibly naive, it's incredibly stupid, it's incredibly greedy. But if we know that is the mix that makes Kate and William, okay? I would say Charles and Camilla, but Charles and Camilla are not naive. They're not new to this. They're true to this. Naive in the way that William and Kate somehow think by showing up and just doing a press thing that they can ignore the fact that they are doing nothing. But again, getting back to this Greek tragedy of what Kate's doing, the reason why so many people find it tragic is the fact that Kate, in order to actually make a change, right, it's not just enough to make people aware that children need better childhoods, to make them aware that there's not enough funding. You need to push the policymakers to allot money to the children, to allot money for that stuff. And Kate's just not up for the battle. Let's get into this. Many pointed out the programs necessary to make children happy and healthy adults, as Kate is advocating for, have been cut in the UK. Like Sure Start, an initiative launched in 1998 with the aim of giving children the best possible start in life. In the past few years, hundreds of Sure Start centers have closed. Now listen, when I heard that the early years was modeled after Sure Start, I said, of course, because even when Kate has the most basic idea, it's still copied from something else. But it's not over. As one UK resident, Chloe Reeves, tweeted, "The Princess of Wales looks to be launching a sincere and thoughtful campaign, but it's kind of wild that Sure Start was an evidence-based solution to the problem she's raising, was evaluated and found to be wonderfully successful, and we're sort of pretending that it wasn't cut." If you guys don't know, Short Step was completely cut of all funding. Now, why is this such an issue? Because it highlights the fact that Kate, and this is it, no matter how charming she seems, no matter how do-good it seems, this is the issue with the royal family. They're actually not interested in actually making things better. They just want the press op so they can look like they do things better. They keep saying service is for the royal class, but part of service is actually doing when others won't. It's not just showing up for a photo call. And I'll just say it looks like poverty porn to me. It really does. Another person wrote, "I'm curious whether the Princess of Wales knows that all our Sure Start centers and family centers have been closed, and whether she is aware that that was a political decision." Another person put, Carol Britton, who writes in her bio she is a wife, mom, and gram, tweeted, "Seeing the Princess of Wales at the launch of her Shaping Us campaign, highlighting the importance of years 0 through 5, irked a little. We knew these were vital years in child development, and Sure Start was an initiative to try and address this. It needed work, not scrapping." They go on to say there's a difference between Kate's message and Sure Start. This is Naomi. "I Eisenstadt, the first director of Sure Start unit in 1999. She said, Sure Start to begin with was explicitly aimed at families in poverty. It became universal because everybody wanted it, which was great. She's trying to do something slightly different, which is to say that there are some things all parents can do, right? Or should be doing, which it's a good start, right? It's good for children. It's right. And you can't argue with that. What's missing from the campaign is the political side of it. Everyone can be a good parent, but there are circumstances that make it much harder for parents in poverty." They said, this is somebody else. "We are well accustomed to MPs and royalty visiting early year settings, praising the invaluable work of practitioners from David Cameron to Gordon Brown and the Queen Consort." This is from Dr. Mine Confair, a member of the practitioners of the early years sector, right? They told Sky News. "But nothing is done. The time has long passed for awareness. We need action. Long-term investment and funding in the early years. Childcare providers are having to turn to food charities to provide nutrition meals for children, while stagnant government funding still is not being directed to the sector. The paltry government funding of early years that is provided does not cover the provision of any food." Now, a lot of people will say, "Oh my God, you know the royals can't be political." That is a lie, because when it comes to anything that makes them show their finances, pay taxes, do anything that affects their money. Oh, they get political really quick, even with veto power. You talk about the early years, those bills to cut the early year funding. Do you know they have to go in front of the royal family first? And the royal family okayed it. The royal family okayed it. They talk about, oh my God, political. It's not political to say you won't do anything, even if she won't push the politicians. Why isn't she donating some fat checks? Why isn't she having fundraisers? Why isn't she having galas? They can fund the fundraiser. They can fund the galas and all the proceeds. Why? Charles is taking bags of money, literally in trash bags and duffel bags from dictators. Why can't one of those bags be earmarked for the children of England? You know, if you are going to sell out and you are going, why can't it at least go to good? The royal family is not above taking literally garbage bags of money. They're not above putting on pathetic award shows to get attention away from Harry. Earthshot Prize. Did someone say Earthshot Prize? They're not above doing these blatant attempts to get media attention. But like I said before, and like I always say, it's never to help the people of the UK. It's always just to make their star rise. And again, in a different time, right? In a different time, that would have been the best, not even a best option, but it would have been an option that worked. But we are in a new age and time. Britain is on its knees. The empire, London Bridge has fallen. The empire is on its last breaths. We saw in real time a first world nation drop down to a third world nation. And still, all Kate chooses to do is spend millions making cutesy videos and cutesy appearances and cosplaying Meghan. And then they wonder, great, you showed up in a beautiful red suit, just like Meghan. But Meghan actually did something when she showed up. She bought money, she bought food, she got her hands dirty. Great, you showed up in a beautiful green coat, just like Meghan. But here's where the misogyny, the laziness, and just the sheer tone deafness. You don't understand. The reason people are applauding Harry and Meghan is because they're putting their money where their mouth is. Harry and Meghan, two private individuals, gave out on their own, raised 13 million, gave out 3 million, and they have the other 10 million earmarked for charities, events, feeding food, all this stuff. They laughed at Meghan when she went to that tragedy when the children died, but yet she donated meals to the family and helped out. They laughed at Meghan when she did the Heads Together, but she made a community, right? She made a community that was overlooked by all the royals. They didn't matter. Funding them didn't matter. She made a cookbook that actually the proceeds went to funding. And the thing is about Meghan, and I'll be real, Meghan's a kind soul, but the thing she did wasn't revolutionary. They were what people that actually care about a cause do. She did the work thing where she collaborated to make pieces that sold out like that, and all the proceeds went to those people. And on top of that, it gave them clothes for work. Meghan did a great thing, but what she did wasn't revolutionary. It's what people that actually care do. And they're proof that you can still have a fabulous life, still be rich, still be famous, still have all the glamour you want, but still give back in a way you can. And the fact that as much as they try to destroy Harry and Meghan, what they're really trying to destroy is any criticism that they are useless, that they are greedy, that they are spoiled, that they are entitled, that they are not needed. You guys, the monarchy, the end is nigh. I think in our lifetimes, they will become trophy figures, if you will. You guys, listen, let me know what you think in the comments. But once again, Kate doing the bare minimum still listen, they have not been able to put a right foot forward. Everything they come up with blows up in their faces. And the thing is, right now they keep directing the UK media to Harry and Meghan. But what's happening now is really, really interesting. I know I said I'm going to go, but let me just say this. What's happening now is really, really interesting. Because usually whenever they have a bad media cycle, right, or the press sits at them, they throw the ball back to Harry and Meghan. Oh, look, Harry and Meghan ate a Twinkie. Ooh, they're trying to kill all the Oompa Loompas in Willy Wonka's factory by eating all the chocolate-covered Twinkies, right? But what's happening now because of Harry's book, they can't throw a rock because they know Harry's gonna come back with a bazooka, right? They can't throw a stone Harry's way. They can't make the media focus on Harry because Harry knows is sitting on more stuff. So now the media is starting to not turn on them, but notice. And there's nothing they can do. This is the first news cycle where they haven't been able to deflect by Harry and Meghan. Let's see how they handle it. My guess is they're going to handle it like everything else they do, poorly and in bad taste. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Bye.